Guys, guess what? I got gifted some board games. Well, technically gifted is not the right word. The bicycle company sent me an email. They reached out to me. Bicycle cards like this bicycle company asking, hey, we noticed that you like board games. We saw your board game video. We were wondering if we could send you board games and then you review the board games and then the people on your channel can learn about our board games. And I was like, well, okay, actually at first I was like, are these the actual real people? Is this the actual bicycle company? Am I being scammed? But after my sister and I did some research, we couldn't find anything wrong with the email. So we were like, okay, well, I'll give you my personal information and pray that nothing's gonna go wrong. But luckily, Bicycles sent me the board games, and I am here to review them. I am gonna start with the Alpha first. So basically, you're a pack of wolves, and you and the other players are your own separate packs, trying to gather as much food as possible. And whoever has the most food at the end of the game wins. Obviously, there's the instruction manual. That's important. So basically, you arrange the board how they have it in the actual rules, which is convenient. That makes me happy. Where you have the big animals up here, and you have the small animals, the livestock and the scavenger region down here, and then you have the players in their own little boards. And then, of course, according to how many players you have, you pick how many of the large animals, how many of the small animals or medium animals, and how many scavengers and livestock, and blah 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 blah. Okay, so at the very beginning of the game, everyone gets their own den board. Everyone gets an Alfa pair token, this one. And then they get a bunch of little wolves. And then they take one of their wolves and put it on 5 over here. This is the beginning food tracker. Everyone starts out with 5 food. You also put the weeks left token on 5 over here. And then someone will get the Alfa token. Now, the rules say that whoever howls the loudest gets the Alfa token. Yeah, we didn't do that. I just took the Alfa token because I'm the host, and these are my board games. So figure it out, okay? Or whoever's the oldest, or whoever's the coolest, or whoever is providing the food and drinks. Okay, they are the Alpha. Okay, just figure it out. And then you will arrange the rest of the animal tiles according to how many players that you have. This is a large one. This is a medium-sized one. This is a small one. This is the livestock, and this is scavenge. Basically, how play goes is everyone will take their wolves and they will place them on one of these animal or scavenge or livestock tokens. So let's say I want to send my Alpha pair to the bison, okay? Every time you want to go into the deep forest, you have to pay 1 food to send a wolf there. And then the next player will send a wolf to somewhere. So let's say this player wants to send one to the elk. They will pay 1. And then let's say this player wants to also go to bison. They will pay 1. Let's say I want to send 1 wolf to hare. I don't have to pay. If I go for a smaller animal under the board, I don't have to pay. It's only for these bigger animals I have to pay. So I send my second wolf here, and then it's just rinse and repeat. People will send all their wolves to different places. So now that all the wolves are on, the board, now we will go from the smallest tile and then go through and then go to the biggest tile to determine how much food everyone gets, and also determine if there are any conflicts or fighting. By the way, this is not the normal assortment. Again, do it according to how many players you have. I just wanted to have one type of everything to, make sure that everything has been covered. The scavenger tile right here says maximum 1 wolf per pack. So that means that if you put a wolf here, you are guaranteed to get 1 food without fighting. So I put a wolf here and brown player put a wolf here, which means that both of us get 1 food. Okay? And then now that these wolves are done, they return back to their dens. So I'll put mine here, and then I'll put brown player away. And then these wolves are done. Now we will go to livestock. Now what livestock is, it's a very high risk, high reward area. So you have all of these different dice, and they're all color coded according to the different animals. So the livestock is the red die. So this is the livestock dice. Now green player is gonna try to go for livestock, and they're gonna roll the dice. Okay, so they rolled a 3, which means that they roll 3. They get 3 food. 1, 2, 3. They're back to 5. And then this wolf is done. Note that if they rolled a 12, they would gain 12 food. But if they roll any of these, you know, D, D, or D, D stands for death, okay? If you roll one of these, the Ds on these dice, it means you lose that wolf, and that wolf is removed from the game. They are dead, okay? Farmer Fred killed the wolf with a shotgun. They're done, okay? If you roll an X, it means X, nothing happens. It just means that you just skip a turn. This wolf doesn't do anything that round, okay? It just means nothing. Now, this is the first animal tile that we have, so let's take a look. We have 2 brown wolves, a blue wolf, and a green wolf here, okay, for the hare. Now, the dominant pack on this tile is gonna roll the die, okay? So because brown has the majority, they're going to roll. So they rolled a 2. Brown gets 2 food, and then everybody else goes home. Nothing else happens. Now let's say there are 2 packs on here that had an equal amount, okay? So let me pull one of these. Let's say that I had 2 wolves here and they had 2 wolves here, okay? At that point, there would be a conflict. If you roll an X, by the way, and there is a second dominant pack, the second dominant pack is allowed to roll as well. If you both roll an X, well then everybody goes home with nothing. But let's assume that a 2 was rolled and we have 2 dominant packs, okay? At that point, there is a conflict, and you use these fight or share tokens. So myself and brown player are secretly going to choose either fight or share. And on each of the den boards, there is a conflict result table, okay? Let's say I picked fight and brown player picked share. Of this 2 food, I would get both food, okay? If we both picked share, we would both get 1 food each. If we both pick fight, we don't get anything, and both of our wolves, one of each wolf, will go to the injured section, okay? We're both injured, and then the third party, green, gets the food instead. Of course, if, you know, there was even one more wolf on here, let's say there's also red wolf. Let's say red wolf is also here. They're also considered a scavenger pack because they only have 1 each, and we had 2 on here. They would split the food instead. Now we go to the elk. This is a medium animal, and we will use the elk die. Here we go. It's green. It's color coordinated. We love that. So the dominating pack for this animal is green. So green player will get to roll. And wow, I didn't even script that. I wanted it to roll carrion. Okay, so this says C7, and the C stands for carrion. Now, carrion in this game, basically what it means is everyone in here immediately goes into conflict. Doesn't matter how many wolves you have in here, they will go into conflict. So despite them being the dominating pack, brown is going to fight green. So here we go. Green and brown are gonna do the fight or the share, whichever they decide. Let's assume green picks fight and brown picks share. Green would get all 7 food on here. There's a 7 on here. That's the amount of food that is available that round. So green is going to go up 7 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why am I up here? I shouldn't be. And then after the carrion round is over, this flips over to the carrion side. The next round, no one has to roll the dice. There is guaranteed 7 food on here, and whoever the dominant pack is, they collect it. And of course, you know, if there's a tie, you guys are gonna do the fighting thing again, and the round goes as normal. So these go away. Now, here we go. Here's the large animal. Basically, with large animals is that there has to be a minimum of 5 wolves on the large animal tile to even play it. If there are not 5, just skip the entire round. Just nobody gets anything, go home. But obviously there are more than 5 wolves on here. And I will explain what alpha tokens are. So these alpha pair tokens are worth 2 wolves. As far as food goes, they are worth only 1. So you only have to pay 1 to use the token. But as far as animals go, they're worth 2, okay? And then after every animal has gone, we move any injured wolves to the healing side. We progress to the next week, and then rinse and repeat. Just the alpha, whoever has the most food is the alpha. So I have the most food, I get to stay the alpha. And then you rinse and repeat. You pay to go over here, and then they pay to go over here. And then at the end of this round, any healing wolves go back home. They go back to your den, and then blah, 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 blah. Rinse and repeat until the end of the game. You're out of the weeks. Week 0 is the last week, and then the game ends. You figure out who has the most food, and whoever has the most food wins. So normally I would have tested this game with my regular board game group. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to, you know, play with my regular group. So I ended up playing with my roommate and Baby Luigi. We basically played with Baby Luigi using a regular die to determine what he would do. Like literally what we would do is we would name, okay, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and then there's probably a 6th possibly somewhere. So we would literally roll a die. Okay, so he rolled a 1. Okay, Luigi is gonna send his wolf to 1. It actually was kind of fun with Luigi being a computer player because there was no predicting him. And then, of course, if Luigi wanted to, you know, fight or share, we would roll the die. You know, odd would be fight, even would be share. It was a fun time. It was a fun time with Luigi. It was kind of difficult to judge this game too critically as I was, you know, only playing with myself, my roommate, and Luigi. But from what I experienced of it, I do really like it. I love dice rolling. Like, I'm a dice rolling person, okay? Just all my favorite games involve a ton of dice rolling, and this game has a lot of dice rolling. My roommate found this game to be, she said, she described it as she found it a little boring, which is why she consistently sent all of her wolves straight to Livestock and just gambled everything on Livestock. That's what my roommate did. And she ended up killing off 3 of her wolves, but also gaining like 12 and 3s every once in a while. Like, this was the thrill of the game for her. Baby Luigi's strategy over the course of the game was just to fight everyone, okay? He always went there. There was a fish token and a hare token. He always went for like the little animals. Okay. He very rarely went for like the bigger animals. He always went for the smaller animals, and he always wanted to fight everyone. That's Luigi's goal. Just fight everyone and everything. That's him. I ended up winning the game by a long shot because of the 2 people that I was playing with. So once quarantine is over, I will definitely be playing this game with my regular board game friends. And I personally did enjoy the game, despite the circumstances. It's not very difficult to play. So yeah, it's a light strategy. It literally says light strategy. And that's a pretty good description. If I had to give it like a number grade, I would probably give it like a 7 out of 10. Like it's a solid game. It's not like I love this game, but I do like it. I like it enough to play it again. It is definitely a game I will play again, especially with more people. I imagine that like this game goes up to 6 people. I imagine with 6 players, this game would be crazy.